There is now a record number of displaced people around the world as violence and climate change forcibly remove people from their homelands.
The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, reports more than 100 million people are forcibly displaced worldwide, fleeing countries like Afghanistan, Myanmar, South Sudan, and Syria.
The tough funding crisis doesn't mean that crises in places like Sudan disappear. And I refuse to believe that behind these challenges, we collectively have lost our ability to reach out and support those in direst need.
Since 2023, more than 4 million people have fled Sudan. The war created the world's largest hunger and displacement crisis.
Nearly half the population are acutely food insecure. Famine has taken hold in parts of Darfur and is spreading. In order to turn the tide, WFP needs access in order to reach people that have been isolated by the conflict, and we also need funding. All these challenges are coming at a time when resources for humanitarian response globally are reducing. We know that it is not possible to stop a famine with food alone. You need healthcare, you need water, you need sanitation. So the whole response needs to be well supported in order to be able to turn this around and stem the tide of famine.
The Juba camp in South Sudan houses primarily internally displaced persons. It's located near the UN peacekeeping base established during the Civil War in 2013.
The ongoing conflict has intensified the exodus into Chad. According to the UN Humanitarian Agency, the nation has received more refugees than it had in the last 2 decades. Over 680,000 refugees from Sudan have found safety in the country since the conflict broke out in April 2023.
خلاص طبعا يعني زمن الحرب كان احنا ساكنين زي ده بس كده قاعدين وخلصنا الجنجويد جو في البيت احنا قاعدين زي الجو ولا قالوا لنا هي البنيه القمر زين. انا قلت له ما اعرف المحل القمر، انا ما عندي اخوان كبار ذات يقوا القمر. خلاص قال خش جوا، قلت له انا ما بخش جوا، ودوني برا كده قال خش جوا، قلت له انا ما بخش جوا. خلاص جيت رجعت قعدت زي ده. خلاص تاني مسكوا له اختي جلدوها من جلدوها زي ده. خلاص تاني ضربوني انا زي ده. من ضربوني 3 اول ضربوني تلقى ما وقيت، ضربوني تلقى خلاص اليد دفق النزيف. تاني ادوني تلبق الناس، ادوني زي ده خلاص اليد تار خلاص اتقطع. تار اتقطع ده خلاص انا وقيت.
We are living difficult periods with the influxes after the bombing of Zamzam IDP camp in Darfur and El Fasher. We have hundreds of thousands people moving who have been living in Zamzam. We didn't expect this big influxes of people. It's terrible here at the border. Many children and confined children, so we expect more malnourished people coming now. We're talking about people who are dying on their way from Zamzam to between Tawila and Etine, dying with hunger.
The UN is also providing humanitarian assistance in Burkina Faso, where thousands of displaced people have fled violence in the Sahel region.
يا بزمان وين غربت الوان كان بي بنعمل لبكوكا دوم سنلوغي كوي نبا قريبا نكيت الزوي واكو جلا من غاري من كاتشاي جلا من غاري من كاتشاي ندكورا في فاوا وفاي توي نفرني Ana na do kono farnya tawan awari ga heba da wi awari gada ton hunde da yi awi simi yi gada fu heba a hebta gada awari ga a jodan.
The rising violence in Burkina Faso has driven tens of thousands to neighboring Ivory Coast.
Chika wafana bula kanyere yala ni halo ni sena jogo bina fisa yama sino mogole ma fomi na nyere le ka decision za ka dem so on check anu na yi
ile mingari mingia basi do nyama midanjara basi ka mingia ile minati do mingia basi neng.
Hundreds line up to receive a voucher handed out by the UN World Food Program. For many asylum seekers, this is their only income.
There is actually a deep sense of discrimination in world solidarity. There is no other way to say it, because 9 out of 10 of the most neglected crises in the world, measured as we do in aid, in media attention and political and diplomatic initiatives, compared to the millions in need, they are all in Africa, basically. 9 out of 10.
We need to rethink our approaches to refugee displacement to make them more sustainable. And the path to sustainability lies through greater inclusion of displaced people in the communities that host them, to the extent possible, and until such time when they can return home safely and in dignity. It means also investing and strengthening national systems so that both host communities and refugees can benefit.